Hello everyone, welcome to STEAM Storytime. My name is Miss Christina and I'm going to lead you through our theme of spooky science. This theme was inspired by witches and monsters and creepy spiders. So let's have some fun, shall we? Our book today is called Monster Trouble. And this was written by Lane Fredrickson, and the illustrations are by Michael Robertson. Winifred Schnitzel was never afraid. Not of monsters or ghouls or the noises they made. She loved scary movies and werewolves and thunder and peg-legged pirates who bury their plunder. Still, Winifred's bedtime was hardly spook-free. The neighborhood monsters would not let her be. Each night they'd show up and attempt to be scary. Some would growl, some would belch, some were slimy, some were hairy. But all of their monsterly mayhem was moot because Winifred Schnitzel thought monsters were cute. Still, night after night, all those monsters kept creeping into Winifred's room, interrupted her sleeping. Kids gotta get their rest, right? Too tired for math and too exhausted for fun, she finally decided these monsters are done. She ordered a book titled Monsters Beware and constructed the sticky string small monster snare. Ooh. Let's see, how do we think this trap will do? But that night, the big monsters all showed up first. The sticky string snare got so stretched that it burst. There were monsters on bedposts and stuck to the wall. They made slingshots from string. They were having a ball. Winifred sighed. They were louder than ever. She knew that she needed to try something clever. So she brought in some stinky oil Limburger cheese. The label said, "Caution, makes big monsters sneeze." The monsters just called up the Goblin Street Deli. They ordered in bagels and fish eyeball jelly. Well, that didn't work, did it? Winifred barely got through the next day. She dozed off in art class and snoozed through ballet. She decided, that's it, I've got to get tough. She was tired of monsters. Enough was enough. So she built every spook trap in Monsters Beware, and one of her own called the Prickly Bum Chair. Oh my. I wouldn't want to sit there. Would you want to sit on that prickly bum chair? Poor Winifred yawned. She was so very sleepy. She was starting to look a bit spookishly creepy. When the monsters showed up with their howling and roaring, Winifred Schnitzel was already snoring. That's a tired kid. She was dreaming of puppies when a monster went hiss. She reached out and gave it a big, sleepy kiss. She was dreaming about puppies. She wanted to kiss a puppy, didn't she? The monster yelled, "Yuck!" All the others were heaving. One gagged, and a big monster shouted, "I'm leaving!" Winifred knew that despite their uniqueness, she discovered that monsters all have one silly weakness. What is that weakness? So she puckered and pouted and kissed them all good. Those monsters screamed, running as fast as they could. Now, Winifred sleeps very soundly at night. In the daytime, she's happy and perky and bright. But sometimes she finds that a monster's crept in right around bedtime with a monsterly grin. She ignores all the growling and roaring and hissing, since the one thing that all monsters hate most is kissing. The end. So Winifred, she tried lots of different things. She thought maybe this trap will work. She set it up. It didn't work. And instead of getting frustrated and thinking, I can't do it, she's like, let's try something else. And she tried something else again. It didn't work. And instead of getting frustrated, what'd she do? Try again, right? She just kept trying until she found something that was going to work. All right, so for our activities. In your kits, you've got the instruction sheets. The first activity is called a witch's brew. And so you're going to need your little cauldron. And what you're going to want to do is you're going to put in maybe about halfway to 3/4 of vinegar. You can put in some food coloring if you want to. That's totally optional in case you want to zhuzh it up a bit. And then you can say a little chant if you want, a little spell, and then you pour in some baking soda and watch what happens. So that's activity 1. The second activity is the spider web. Ooh. Now this one, we're going to make a thaumatrope. So you'll take this sheet out that's got 2 big circles on it. You're gonna cut out each circle. Then you're gonna put glue on both sides. Normally I would just say one side, but this one, I would go ahead and put glue on both sides. And then put the wooden dowel. So you put glue on the back. On this side, put glue. Put the wooden dowel in here, and it's gonna have a pointy end, so maybe just go ahead and save yourself some trouble. Put the pointy end first, and then you put the other circle on top of that. I stapled mine just to give it a little bit extra strength, but that's an optional thing. You don't have to. And then it's going to do an optical illusion. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna put it between your hands and you just make it go really fast like that. And it's gonna look like this spider, which is on a blank sheet of paper, look like it is on this spider web, which is just a spider web. And it's an optical illusion. And the way it works is that when your eye is looking at something, it holds that image just like, I forget exactly, like a 30th of a second longer, even once it's gone. And so when you're like changing the shapes back and forth really fast, it's like your eye is holding both images together and it's combining both pictures. And then the third activity is the monster sort. So you have these 2 sheets. Go ahead and just, cut them, into squares. You don't have to be all fancy with your cutting unless you like really, really want to. And then you're gonna start just sorting them into groups. You could do it by color. You could do it by the number of legs they have. Just start looking at them and see, what do some of these monsters, they're all different monsters, but what do they have in common? Some have 1 eye, some have 2 eyes, some have horns, some do not have horns. Some don't have legs, while others do, and others have, more than 2 legs. So just take a look, see what they have in common, and just sort them as many different ways as you can. And then the fourth activity is the haunted house. And for this, you've got some toothpicks and you've got some marshmallows. And so you're going to construct a haunted house with just the toothpicks and marshmallows. So you want to think about shapes, so like squares, triangles, so that you can make your haunted house, all right? And then you could cut out little ghosts or something, little monsters if you want to put into your haunted house. All right, so I hope that you all have a lot of fun. As always, I love seeing your photos. So please share them with me. And if you have any questions, just give us a call at the library. All right, bye friends.